of our favorite Detroit Tigers. Well, tonight, thanks to the My Favorite Things auction, we'll find out what some of our Tigers' favorite things are. It's a special broadcast tonight at Comerica Park, a chance for you to bid on some very special items. What a night for baseball here in the Motor Cities. We welcome you to downtown Detroit. Game 3 in this series featuring the White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba. Ron Allen, glad to have you with us for the third game in this four-game series. Each team with a victory so far. And Rod, tonight, lefty John Danks will go for the Chicago White Sox. A tough left-hander. The Tigers are still without a big right-hander, Miguel Cabrera. But Jim Leyland does have some pretty good righties that are really hot right now in his lineup.
Well, John Danks is making only the second career start on 3 days rest. He made another start back in 2008, game 163 against the Minnesota Twins. He's very, very tough on right-handers, which means these right-handers need to step up today, and they've all been hot lately. Casper Wells, since coming up from the minor leagues, has chipped in, and he's driven in quite a few runs on that last road trip. What can you say about Ryan Rayburn? Since August 5th, he has hit 10 home runs, and that's tied for the most in the American League. So he's been getting it done as well from an offensive standpoint. And Johnny Peralta, since coming over from the Cleveland Indians, he is proving to Tigers brass and Tigers fans he wants to wear that Tigers uniform next year. So something's got to give because, as I said, Danks is outstanding against right-handed batters. And
hopefully those right-handed batters will do well tonight for the Tigers. That's the story from here at Comerica Park. In the meantime, now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios. And with more in our coverage, here's Ryan Field. White Sox here tonight, game 3 in the series. We are ready for baseball, and Jeremy Bonderman ready to go to work. The first pitch of the ball game is in for a strike to Juan Pierre. Pierre, Vizquel, and Rios, the top 3 hitters in the Chicago lineup. Juan Pierre batting .279. He's had a pretty good series, 3 out of 10. Bonderman's 0-1 sails high, 1 ball and 1 strike. A little bit of a cool evening here tonight at the ballpark. It is only 64 degrees at game time. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pierre lifts it toward left field. Rayburn is on the move. Will he have room? He will not. Back into the seats.
Anytime you go up against the Chicago White Sox, it's a must that you keep Pierre off the base paths. He has stolen more bases than anybody in baseball this year.
And he is fearless when he gets on base, even though Alex Avila was able to throw him out yesterday trying to attempt a steal.
Here's the 1-2. Well, the White Sox come in 4.5 out of the American League Central Division. The Sox had their 7-game winning streak snapped yesterday. So Ozzie Guillen's crew trying to start another streak and stay with Minnesota in the Central.
I don't think there's many teams that would have beaten Verlander the way he was pitching yesterday.
Here's Bonderman's 1-2 pitch. And it's on the ground to the shortstop. Easy play there for Peralta. And one gone. That's how this one starts tonight. The rest of the starting lineup for the White Sox presented by Honda Bloomfield. You saw Pierre. He's followed by Vizquel and Rios. Konerko is back in the lineup after missing some games with a sore back. Manny Ramirez, the DH. Then you've got Tian, Jones, Pierzynski, and Alexi Ramirez are your bottom three in the Chicago lineup. Here's Omar Vizquel, the 43-year-old veteran, playing second base again tonight for Gordon Beckham, who has missed his second game.
Omar Vizquel may be 43, but he's playing like a 25-year-old these days, playing all sorts of different positions. And he has been an outstanding number 2 hitter for Ozzie Guillen. One of those guys that can bunt, hit behind a runner. He can hit and run. Very smart baseball player is Vizquel.
Batting a solid 283 coming into play tonight. And he ropes that one foul on the ground. Vizquel has gone as far as to say that he is considering playing again next year at the age of 44. He says, I feel like I'm in great shape, and he looks like he's in great shape.
I read something a couple of years ago, and he said that he wanted to be a big league manager when his career was all said and done. And he'll be a good one with all the years that he has had in the major leagues playing that shortstop position. Different managers, different coaches, different voices.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Bonderman strikes him out. Second out of the inning. The scouting report on Jeremy Bonderman tonight is presented by Ace Hardware.
Well, Bonderman just showed me the first bullet point, and that's that slide piece. He's had a real good slider this year, and it's been a really good out pitch for him. And when he does have that pitch, he really restricts what right-handers can do against him. He holds righties to a 250 batting average. But one of the things that he needs to really work on here tonight against a power-hitting team is that's keep the ball in the yard. He's given up 18 home runs in his last 16 starts.
Here is Alex Rios with 2 outs. Rios has hit 20 home runs this year, one of those power hitters that you speak of. The guy on deck has 33. The White Sox has a team playing a power hitting friendly ballpark at U.S. Cellular Field. Paul Konerko waiting on deck. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike on Rios. Comerica, however, not quite as friendly in terms of the home run ball with the deep center field. Here is Bonderman's 2-1 pitch. Rios ahead of the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Alex in the series 0 for 3 with the base on balls. Did not play in the first game, did not start the first game. And he drives this one high, but foul down the left field line.
And Bonderman got away with one right there. 3-1 fastball right down the middle, about 86 miles an hour. And Rios was a little bit too quick on it. But that's an area where you cannot live against the Chicago White Sox. You cannot throw fastballs right down the middle, belt buckle high.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Bonderman strikes out a pair. Nice start for the Tigers right-hander. They'll go to the bottom of the first. No score. starting lineup, which is presented tonight by Big Boy. You've got Jackson, Rhymes, and Rayburn at the top. Brennan Bosch will DH, and he will bat cleanup tonight for Cabrera. Casper Wells in right field. Johnny Peralta at short. And your bottom three this evening features Inge, Don Kelly, and Alex Avila. So Jackson, who was 2 for 9 in the series, starts it off, and he takes strike one from John Danks. Austin at 305 with 3 home runs this year. He waves and misses, and the count quickly is 0-2.
It's one of the things that Danks does very well, and I think he's kind of patterned himself after Mark Burley, the outstanding left-hander, the other left-hander in their starting rotation, as he works very, very quickly on the mound. He grabs that ball back from A.J. Przinsky and gets right back on top of that rubber.
Yeah, they have said that Burley has rubbed off on most of the guys in that rotation. They like to work quickly. Let's bounce back up the middle. Vizquel charging, and Jackson is out by half a step. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on John Danks. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
He's one of the better left-handers in our league that a lot of people really don't know about, but he's got an outstanding cutter that he runs in on right-handers and a real good changeup that darts down and away from the righty. So, therefore, he does very nice work against them. He's working on 3 days rest for only the second time in his major league career, and he's going up against a team that he really doesn't know all that much. And when you start running guys like Wells and Rhymes and Kelly and putting them in the starting lineup, Danks really hasn't faced these guys that much.
John Danks in search of his 14th win tonight.
Jim Leland was talking about that before the game today, and he said that might bode well for his club, the fact that he doesn't know a lot of these hitters in the lineup.
Rios settles under the fly ball from Rhymes, 2 gone.
And take a look at the splits on John Danks. Left-handers, he doesn't really have a good breaking ball. Therefore, the numbers are somewhat elevated against left-handed batters. But for the right-handers, he's got the cut fastball in. He'll backdoor you with the cutter off the plate. And he's got a legitimate swing and miss changeup. So that's where those really good numbers against right-handers come into play.
Here's Rayburn batting in the 3 spot tonight, and he takes one on the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
But something's got to give here tonight, because the Tigers have some right-handers in that batting order tonight that have been sizzling hot. Rayburn would be one of them.
Ryan in the series 1 for 3. He's had a career year in terms of doubles and RBIs. 2 balls and 1 strike on Rayburn. Last 5 games, 7 for 16 with a couple of long balls. Danks working quickly, the 2-1. 2-2 on Ryan. John Danks out of Austin, Texas. He is 24 years old, 13-game winner last year. He has eclipsed, or can eclipse, that mark with a win here tonight. Let's roll to the shortstop, Ramirez. And Alexi will throw him out. Tigers go 1-2-3. 1 inning in the books. No score. Is filled with Tigers players or Fox Sports Detroit announcers' favorite things. Each basket features items such as gift cards, DVDs, video games, autographed memorabilia, and a whole lot more. If you'd like a complete description of the baskets, go to tigers.com/wives. Bidding continues until the first pitch of the 8th inning, and winners will be announced post-game on Tigers Live. And proceeds will be benefiting the Detroit Tigers Foundation. You can bid now by calling 313-471-2100. First pitch to Paul Konerko is rolled to third base. One pitch, one out. By the way, the first 50 people to call and donate $50 or more receive a Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers prize pack. You must be at least 18 years old to bid. But this ought to be a fun night tonight, Rod, where we're going to see some of our Tiger players' favorite things.
And no question about that. And the fact that it all goes to charity is even better.
The Detroit Tigers Foundation, which always does great work in the community. Here's Manny Ramirez with one out. Good start tonight for Bonderman. 4 up, 4 down, and Manny pops it up. Right side of the infield for Don Kelly.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment in this game. It's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. You got Kelly. You've got Jackson, Wells in the outfield. You've got Inge, Peralta, Rhines, and Kelly at first. Got Kelly at 2 spots. How about that? Jeremy Bonderman is the pitcher. And Alex Avila,
he's good,
is behind the plate. That boy's covering some ground these days.
He is fast.
Yes, he is.
Rayburn in left, by the way. Here is
and Bosch is in right. And Kelly is at first.
T and the third baseman batting with 2 outs.
Who cares about the defensive alignment? We're all looking forward to those baskets tonight. That's what we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. T at 263 is 0 for 8 in the series with a base on balls. Bouncing ball right side. Kelly on the backhand.
Told you he was everywhere.
He flips to the pitcher covering. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Bonderman. Tigers baseball tonight brought to you by Bell Tire. Neither team with a hit, neither team with a run. As the Tigers bat here in the bottom of the second. Bosch, Wells, and Peralta facing John Danks. Danks got the Tigers 1-2-3 in the first. Bonderman had a 5-pitch second inning. Pretty good series so far for Brennan. 3 for 6. He fouls one straight back. 1-1.
And Brennan got a couple of base hits the opposite way in last night's game with 2 strikes. One to the shortstop, Alexi Ramirez, who was able to pick it up but not able to throw Bosch out. And Bosch got an RBI, and then later in the game he singled sharply in the left field. We told you Danks' numbers not all that favorable against left-handed batters, and therefore Jim has 4 lefties in his lineup today. hoping to exploit that weakness.
Bosch this year is still hitting a healthy .354 against left-handed pitching. And he's trying to get something going here in the second.
He has had a couple of really good swings against Danks in this pitch sequence, but he has fouled both pitches off.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Once Danks is able to master the breaking ball, whether it be the curveball or the slider to go along with the cutter that he has and the changeup, and he will be a big-time winner in the American League.
And he walked him. Bosch is the first base runner for the Tigers. By the way, if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Here's Casper Wells. Wells out in right field tonight is 1 for 2 in the series. First pitch to Wells is in for a strike. Base on balls have been an issue for Danks. 10 over his last 3 starts. He has walked Bosch to begin the second inning. Casper batting .333. Fouled away. 0-2.
And told you that Danks is working on 3 days rest for only the second time in his major league career. The last time he did it was back on September 30th of 2008, and it was game 163. The Minnesota Twins and White Sox were tied at the end of the year, and he pitched that game at home, U.S. Cellular Field, and he was outstanding.
1-2.
White Sox went on to win that game, and of course they went to the postseason.
As the Guillen's team lost the game in the standings last night. The 1-2. Shattered his bat, rolled it back to the mound. This should be 2. There's 1, and there's 2.
That was so dangerous. Danks grabbed that baseball and never saw that bat coming toward him. Never, ever saw it.
Well, this game tonight is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast.
Take a look at Danks grab this baseball, and the bat just flies right past him. He never, ever saw the bat. Oh, my goodness.
Base is empty now for Johnny Peralta. Johnny batting .253. And it's not like that was a solid bat whistling by him. That was a jagged edged cracked bat.
Dangerous. So dangerous.
There's the 2-0 to Peralta. And ball 3 now on Johnny.
Peralta did something in last night's game that I have not seen him do a whole lot of. In a Tigers uniform or a Cleveland Indians uniform, he shot a double down in that right field corner, drove in a couple of runs, and if he could start to do that a little bit more often, that batting average of .253, it gets up in the .275, .280 range. That's what he usually does.
Roll to third base. Tien has it. Up the line. Safe. He pulled him off the bag, and a routine ground ball turns into a Tigers base runner.
No disrespect to Mark Tien, but this is not their best defensive infield. They're better with Beckham at second and Vizquel at third. Of course, Ramirez is anchored at shortstop, but Tien really takes his time, and in a very mechanical way, he allows Peralta to kind of get past the swipe tag of Konerko. Had plenty of time, but appeared to take too much time getting the ball across the diamond.
So the inning is still alive, and here is Brandon Inge. 9th error of the year for Mark Tien. Let's see if Inge can make him pay. Brandon's had a nice series, 3 for 7 with a home run, 3 RBIs.
Brandon has done his best work throughout his career here at home against Chicago White Sox pitching. He perks up when he sees them coming.
Age is still one double shy of 200 for his big league career. Trying to become the 26th player in the history of the Tigers to reach that plateau.
That's special company.
When you consider the Tigers have been around over 100 years. 2-1 on Brandon. John Danks, along with Mark Burley last year, became the first pair of White Sox lefties to each throw 200 innings in a long, long time. 1985 was the last time the White Sox had two lefties do that. That's pulled to left field, but foul. And while the Tigers for most of the year have gone the season without a left-handed presence in their lineup, there's Burley. Got Danks on the hill tonight. And those lefties really come in handy against some of the big left-handed batters in the Central or in any other division for that fact. Missed inside. Close. 3-2. Peralta will get a head start at first base with 2 outs. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Danks comes back to strike out Inge. Inning over. No runs, no hits, an error, a walk, 1 man left. Tasty Snacks restaurant gift cards, a personal music system, toys, action figures, movie DVDs, and a whole lot more. For a complete description of the baskets, go to tigers.com/wives to place a bid or make a donation. You can call 313-471-2100. So we talked about this being a fun time tonight. Carrie Kelly, the lovely wife of our own Don Kelly, joins us in the booth now. And Carrie, I know that you and the wives and the significant others have been busily going at this for the last couple of weeks now. How has this whole process been going?
I'd say it's pretty good. I was just back in the call center and got a chance to see all the baskets all put together, and there's some really nice ones out there.
And the calls are flowing in at this point?
They
hopefully?
are.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, I noticed Don's, and obviously you put together Don's basket.
I did.
Features quite a few sweets. Is that something that we should know about Mr. Kelly?
I don't know. Did you see Rod's basket?
I saw Rod's. And Rod's actually tops Don's Kelly.
Come on, I've been giving my stuff away.
But talk about the process of putting one of these baskets together. It had to be a whole lot of fun. Now, did you talk with Don about what you go in?
I did. I kind of gave him a list and just asked him to run down his favorite things. And from there, I just started running around collecting things.
Nice.
And, yeah, I think it turned out pretty well.
But as good a shape as Don is, he doesn't eat all these sweets all the time, does he?
Ice cream? Yeah, but the rest of it, no.
I asked Don before the game today, I said, now, is Carrie ready for her debut on television? And he said, oh yeah, she's ready, man. She's good to go. So have you been practicing? Have you been looking forward to this?
I haven't been practicing, but I have been looking forward to it, sure.
Well, now tell us some of the areas that will benefit from these auction baskets. Obviously, the Detroit Tigers Foundation has really done a lot of good things for the Boys and Girls Clubs of southeastern Michigan. Talk about a little bit of the people that will benefit.
Well, the Tiny Tigers will benefit from this a lot, and that's something that all of us wives and girlfriends really like to support. Just as a character builder at that age, we think it's really important to support programs with the youth.
Absolutely, and Tiny Tigers is a really neat outlet. And Rod, you and I have visited the Boys and Girls Clubs often, which is, and you're a former member of the Boys and Girls Club.
Which makes it real special because, I mean, there's nothing more important than young kids' lives. And when you're able to give to the young kids at the Boys and Girls Club, I mean, especially by raising money and donating, it's something that's it's invaluable, really.
Andrew Jones, a strikeout victim. That'll bring up A.J. Przinsky. We're talking with Carrie Kelly, the wife of Don Kelly. Here's the call center where the Tiger wives and significant others are busily taking calls. And
they're all on the phone.
They are indeed.
That's a good thing.
A.J. Przinsky stepping in now.
Well, this is not really the only time the wives get together and do things that from a charitable standpoint in Detroit. Talk about some of the other things that the wives do.
Well, this year in particular, which we were only up for part of last year, so I can really only talk about this year, we've gone to the DMC Children's Hospital, and a couple of the players have signed autographs there for the kids. It's a really special day, and I think they really appreciated it. And this Friday coming, we're doing the bread and bed truck. I think there's 4 or 5 wives that are going to go, so we've had some really neat opportunities.
Now, do the wives have a competition between themselves on who puts together the best basket? You guys try and outdo each other?
Never.
Well, I don't. The list that we got to use as an example from last year included an Xbox 360, and Justin Verlander's basket was a high-ticket item. So
nice.
Yeah, we
imagine that.
Yeah. Oh.
2 outs as Alexi Ramirez bats here in a scoreless game. We're talking with Carrie Kelly, who is, of course, one of the Tiger wives, Don Kelly's wife, and the auction going on here tonight at Comerica Park. That is rolled slowly toward third. Inge with a nice play, and look who made the stretch at first base. That would be Don Kelly. Carrie, congratulations. I know you're proud of your man right there. Thank you for stopping in, and good luck with all the auction baskets.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for coming. Carrie Kelly here at the ballpark tonight. Stay with us. Tigers coming up in the bottom of the third.
Tickets for just $230. Call 313-262-2010 or visit DetroitLions.com.
Back here at the ballpark, and the Tigers and White Sox locked up in a scoreless duel so far. Don Kelly, Alex Avila, and Austin Jackson here in the Tigers' third inning. Neither team with a hit so far. And Kelly rips one fair down the first base line. Nice play by Konerko, but no chance to get Kelly.
Thanks. Mental mistake there, was not where he needed to be, which was on the bag after a great play by Paul Konerko, and you could see Danks is clearly frustrated with himself. One of the things you have to do is break immediately when that ball is hit to the right side of the infield. He did not do as much, and therefore Don Kelly gets himself an infield single on a really good play by Paul Konerko. Does not look like anything's wrong with his back.
Nice play, but an infield hit. That is the first hit of the game for either side. It's going to bring up Alex Avila. Avila hitting .215. 5 home runs, hitless in the series so far. By the way, thanks to Carrie Kelly, Don's wife, for stopping up in the booth for a couple of moments to spread the word about the Our Favorite Things auction going on tonight. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Avila.
Avila only hitting at .215 this year, but Jim Leland before the game today was talking about how good he thinks Alex will be before it's all said and done. He says it's going to take some time, but he thinks he's going to be a very productive left-handed big league catcher in the major leagues for a long time to come.
He was also saying something about his hitting, and you could probably explain this. He wants him to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. What did he mean by that?
Well, that's something that Alex has known for a long time. He told me that, Alex himself, back in the month of April and May. I mean, when he gets himself in hitter-friendly counts as far as the fastball is concerned, he's still not catching the baseball out in front. And he's got some really nice hand-eye coordination. He's got some bat speed, but I guess sometimes he just gives too much credit to the pitcher. But when you get yourself in 2-1 counts, 3-1 counts, 3-0 counts, those are predictable fastball counts. That's when you can cheat as a hitter. That's when you must catch the baseball out in front.
Now the 1-2. Bouncing ball to the right side. This might be 2. There's 1. Ramirez with the relay. There's 2.
Was Alexi even on the bag when he grabbed that ball? Paul Nart is the second base umpire, and I guess he said okay, but it looked like to me he cheated quite a bit here.
Old neighborhood play, maybe?
Well, let's look and see. I mean, there's a feed. I mean, he's not even close to the base.
He wasn't even in the same county.
One more look. But, you know, they get that play called for them here in the big leagues.
Base is empty.
I guess if the umpires really didn't give the middle infielders the benefit of the doubt there, then there'd be some major collisions.
Yeah, that's a good point. More guys getting injured turning that play?
Yes.
I would agree.
Little chin music by Danks.
Jackson bounced out back in the first. Waves and misses. Austin 2 for 10 in the series. He has scored 91 runs this year, so he should get to 100 before the year's over. You would expect him to, at least. In fact, he has scored 22 times in the last 18 games.
Uncharted waters for so many of these guys, all the young players, especially the guys that are playing in the major leagues for the very first time. And usually at this point in time, they're all at home getting ready to go to instructional league for about 3 weeks, not playing in meaningful games in the big leagues. The minor league season is only about 140 games.
Well, the thing about Jackson is he does not look tired physically or mentally when you see him walk in the clubhouse every day.
Good point.
And he is full of energy, and he just relishes this opportunity, it appears.
He's having a great year. Over 300, 30-plus doubles, 20-plus steals, hitting, just doing everything, really.
Right back up the middle, and that is going to be into center field, out of the reach of Ramirez. Seeing eye single there, but it's a base hit nonetheless.
One of the things that you know that Danks is going to do, especially Jackson, after he buzzed his power with the very first pitch, eventually he's going to go to that changeup down and away. That's a really good pitch on most nights, but these Tigers know, at least the right-handers know, that they're going to get that pitch from Danks because that's how he dominates right-handed hitters, and Jackson was able to find a seam up the middle.
Here's Will Rhymes with 2 outs. Tigers have their second hit, and both of them in this inning. And Will is hit by the pitch. Is he? No, they're sending the runner back to first base. They're going to call that a foul ball. Right in the bottom of the bat, I guess. Yep. 0-1 on Rhymes. Will fly to center field back in the first. Rhymes and Jackson have pretty much been the two table setters for the Tigers this month here in September, and even in late August. But in the month of September, they have combined to score 12 runs. So they've gotten on base quite a bit. Rhymes pops this one up, though. First base side, the second baseman, Vizquel, to short right to make the catch, inning over. No runs, couple of hits, one left. Internet. And by the new Ultimate 50-50 raffle from the Michigan Lottery, the current jackpot is at least $43,000. Nighttime settling in here in downtown Detroit on a cool evening here at the ballpark. Meanwhile, neither team has been able to get anything going offensively. The bats have been cool as well. No runs, no hits for Chicago. No runs, 2 hits for the Tigers. Bonderman facing the top of the lineup. Juan Pierre is leading it off here in the fourth. Bonderman threw just 32 pitches to get through 3 innings.
It's pretty much been what Bonderman has been able to do all season long. He holds the opposition to a .218 batting average. First time through.
Line to left field, right at Rayburn. As we have a chance now, we go back to the studio. Time for a game break, and here's Ryan Field. All right, Ryan, thank you. Omar Vizquel batting here with 1 out in the fourth. Vizquel, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Jeremy has fanned 3 in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bonderman had 5 walks against the Kansas City Royals his last start. He stayed in the game quite a while, but he did have some wildness in that ball game. But today, he's throwing nothing but strikes.
Good to see. Vizquel has an RBI in the series, 2 for 9. And the 2-1 pitch. Driven deep in the air to right field. On the move as well as he'll turn on it. And that ball is gone. Omar Vizquel has just hit his 2nd home run of the year.
That was that count you were asking me about when Alex Avila was up at the plate last half inning. The 2-1 count. It's a predictable fastball count. So if you're Omar Vizquel in this situation, all you're looking for is a fastball. It really doesn't have to be a strike. You're going to catch it out in front. He does that, and he catches it just right, and it flies out of here. That's what you do in predictable fastball counts. You get great swings. You don't always hit home runs, but you should get a good swing at those pitches.
What did Vizquel do just that? 1-0. That is the first hit of the game for Chicago. And it's a meaningful one. Omar Vizquel's only other home run was back in June against Detroit. The 0-1 pitch to Rios. There's the 1-1 offering. Rios, it appears, has been susceptible to that pitch from Bonderman.
He was also baffled by that breaking ball that Verlander had last night, as was a lot of his teammates. Verlander probably had his best curveball of the year last night against the Chicago White Sox batters. Bonderman's done a nice job so far against Rios. First time up, real good two-seam fastballs inside. And then he's gone away with some good slow breaking balls. Struck him out the first time up. But JV was sensational.
The 1-2. He tried to hold up but couldn't do it. Struck him out.
The one thing that Bonderman has started to do with his slider, and he's changing speeds with it. When Bonderman was healthy a couple of years ago and the fastball was 95 miles an hour, that slider was a lot harder. It was about 86 miles an hour, but now the fastball only about 90. He had to find that comfort zone as far as that slide piece was concerned, and he's pretty much found that lately. He does a nice job against right-handed batters, and he always has.
He has picked up his 4th strikeout of this game. Konerko 0 for 1. 0-1 on Konerko. 33 home runs this year, 2nd in the American League. He has been on base in 30 of his last 32. Driven to center field and hit hard. On the run, Jackson won't get there. He'll play it on one hop, and the slow-footed Konerko will check in with a 2-out single.
And Konerko kind of beat the defense there. Jackson had him shaded over in left center field, and he got inside of a two-seam fastball. You see Jackson at the top of your screen, and Paul Konerko takes a pitch and just kind of gets inside out of it and hits it where Jackson can't catch it. You also got a chance to see just how quick Jackson's first step is. He has a quick first step.
Here's Manny Ramirez.
And now he's playing Ramirez on the other side of the bag. Overshaded Konerko to left center. Now Manny in right center. Huge gap in left center field for Manny.
A little bit outside. Run the count to 2-0 on Manny Ramirez.
Manny is not 100% here tonight. He was hit a couple of times on that left wrist in the ball game. Once by Verlander, once by Robbie Weinhardt, but he demanded to play today.
Manny, since joining the White Sox at the beginning of the month, has already been hit 4 times. 2, as he mentioned last night. He's a 9-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Here's the 2-1.
And here's a couple of those pitches that Manny got hit on last night. One by Verlander and one by Robbie Weinhardt. I remember when we were in Chicago our last trip, and Ozzie Guillen was talking about how many times his team as a whole had been hit. And he wasn't really happy about it at that time.
No, not at all.
Quentin's been hit quite a bit.
Pierre. Manny gets a walk. So 2 on with 2 outs. We'll bring up Martin.
Martin hitting .262 overall, but he's got nice numbers in his career against Bonderman. The majority of those numbers came as he was wearing a Kansas City Royals uniform.
5 years with Kansas City, and now Tien finds himself in the middle of a pennant race this year. He takes ball 1. .393 career against Bonderman.
And a lot of times when you as a hitter know you have those types of numbers and you've had that kind of success against any pitcher, regardless of how you're feeling on any given day, you kind of perk up a little bit because you know you've had good numbers against the opposing pitcher.
Yeah, not only has he had 11 hits, but 4 of them have been home runs. 1-0 on the home run by Vizquel here in the 4th. And a strike called, 1-1. Tien, born in California, went to college in California. Originally a first-round pick of the Oakland Athletics. Strike called, 1-2. Tien is a guy that Ozzie Guillen has been able to play around several different positions. Breaking ball there by Bonderman. First, third, right, DH. All over the place. Vizquel's been able to play a lot of different positions. Off the end of the bat toward third, foul ball.
They've got a veteran club. They've got a lot of guys that have done some really nice work in the big leagues. You mentioned a couple of those guys in Vizquel. Manny, of course. Paul Konerko's had a stellar career. Andrew Jones has had a tremendous big league career. A lot of veteran players Ozzie Guillen has at his disposal. And a lot of guys that have played postseason baseball, too.
And you've got a guy in Manny Ramirez that has hit more postseason home runs than anybody. Missed outside with a breaking ball again. 2-2 on Mark Tien. Tien is 0 for 1. He bounced out to the first baseman Kelly back in the 2nd. Just missed the inside corner. 3-2 with 2 outs. On deck, Andrew Jones. Konerko at second base, Manny at first. They'll be on the move here. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tien is gone. 5 strikeouts for Jeremy Bonderman. This one comes at a key time. Day. One of the all-time great players in the history of the game. And, of course, the Tigers early today learned that Carlos Guillen is their nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award for off-the-field excellence. As Ryan Rayburn leads it off with a single here in the 4th inning. And before the game today, Carlos Guillen received an award for being the Tigers nominee.
That has to be a thrill for any player to get your name mentioned in the same sentence as Roberto Clemente.
There is a 2010 Roberto Clemente Award nominee. He is the host of Keeping Kids in the Game and has raised over $600,000 for local charities. So congratulations to Mr. Guillen.
Well deserved.
Brendan Bosch, the batter. Bosch had a walk back in the 2nd inning. Skies this one in the air. Right side of the infield. Konerko camping under it. One gone. Time for the AT&T trivia question here tonight. Which Tiger was the 1973 National Roberto Clemente Award recipient? Back in '73, Tiger won the award. The National Award. Can you name that Tiger? That'll bring up Casper Wells. Casper bounced into a double play. 1-6-3 back in the 2nd. Ooh, that was close. Rayburn scampering back. Bouncing ball to 3rd. Backhanded by Tien. Fires and throws it away. Into right field. Rayburn will get to 3rd base. And that's going to be another error on Mark Tien. And this one a relatively large one. White Sox now committed 17 errors in their last 14 games.
Tailor-made double play ball here. He just grabs it and just fires the ball down in the dirt. And Vizquel, as gifted as he is with his glove, he couldn't even get a glove on it.
The front end of that play was really good by Tien, backhanding that short out. But I'm going to say he missed 2nd base, but not so, says Paul Nart. Worth a shot. Right hand tags the bag right there. So an opportunity for Johnny Peralta. Ball high. Peralta reaching on the other error by Tien in his first at bat. That was back in the 2nd. It came with 2 outs, and there was no damage done after that. So the Tigers with 3 hits, but trail by a run. They have runners at 1st and 3rd, 1 out. 2-0 from Danks. 2-1.
Pretty good pitch here by Danks. 2-0 count. Peralta's looking for the fastball, and he throws that swing and miss changeup that he has at about in the low 80s. It's a really good pitch if you can throw that pitch when you're behind in the count.
Now it's 3-1.
But now if you're Peralta, even though he threw you the 2-0 changeup, you still have to sit on your fastball. You still have to be ready for your fastball. And if he throws that changeup, if he throws you that same 1-2-0, you're not going to hit that one anyway. But you can hit a mistake changeup if it's up.
He lost it, ball 4, and all of a sudden the Tigers have loaded the bases. There's only 1 out. Well, we talk about this being Roberto Clemente Day around the major leagues. For some of our younger viewers who may not be too familiar with Mr. Clemente, he was quite a player.
12-time All-Star. He was an MVP in 1966. He also won tons of Gold Gloves. He had power. He could hit for average and had one of the best throwing arms of any of the right fielders that have ever played the game of baseball today. And what a humanitarian he was.
Hall of Fame inductee back in 1973, Roberto Clemente. Well, here is Inge now with the bases loaded. And the Tigers down by 1 run. A golden opportunity here in the 4th. 5 grand slams in Brandon's career. Rayburn is at third base. Casper Wells at second and Peralta at first. Little looper into right center field. It will drop. Base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes Wells rounding third. They'll send him home and he scores. Brandon Inge with a 2-run single and the Tigers take the lead. So the error proves costly.
And Brandon Inge very unselfish with this at-bat. He was simply looking to hit something the opposite way. Therefore, he allows the ball to get very deep in the strike zone. It's up, and he fights it off and gets rewarded with 2 RBIs.
And that's 5 RBIs in the series for Brandon. Hit a 3-run homer last night. 61 driven in this year. Here's Don Kelly. Tigers now have 4 hits. They answer the Vizquel home run with 2 runs of their own. Todd Kelly's average now is up to 253.
And Jim was talking about Don Kelly on the field before the game, and he just likes his skill set. He can play first, he can play left, he can play right, he can play most of the infield positions. He just said he's a really valuable player, a really nice piece to the puzzle.
And Kelly, like many of the other Tigers players here down the stretch, taking advantage of what really has been a golden opportunity.
I think his asset over some of the other guys is the fact that he can play just about every position on the field.
Wave and a miss, and Kelly goes down on strikes. It's a second strikeout now for the lefty Danks. And that leaves it up to Avila. Alex bounced into a double play back in the 3rd. Danks now has thrown 61 pitches. Tried to check it, tried to get out of the way, and he went around. Angel Campos down at third base.
Looked like Alex was cheating for the first pitch fastball and realized that he couldn't get to that one, but went a little bit too far.
Avila now has started 9 of the last 11 for Jim Leyland behind the dish. Actually, there was 1 DH role mixed in there, but most of those behind the dish. He takes inside, 2-1. So they are getting a good long look at Mr. Avila, who figures to figure in the plans next year for Detroit. Lifted to center field, hit pretty good. Rios on the run, can't get it over his head. It's going to get 2 more runs in. Avila goes to second, and he will stop with a double. He hit that ball a long way. The other way.
Jim had a feeling that one of the left-handers in his lineup today would do something big against Danks, who yields big numbers against left-handed batters, and Rios looked like he was playing on the second base side of the bag, and even with all his speed and athleticism, he could not run that one down, and what a big hit that is for Avila.
Alex Avila safe at second base with a double. Safe and secure in New York Life.
Danks should have been out of this inning a long time ago. But the error by Martin, and he can't pitch around it.
That error by Etienne looked to be the start of an inning-ending double play. So Jackson now will be walked intentionally, and they will face Rhymes.
Rhymes is no slouch against left-handed batters. His numbers are pretty good. As a matter of fact, better against lefties than righties last check. Get some last-minute instructions from Lloyd McClendon was Rhymes.
Jackson has been walked intentionally now for the 4th time this year. Not quite Miguel Cabrera territory, but not bad. 2 on, 2 out. Tigers have put up 4 runs here in the 4th, and they've also had 5 hits. Rhymes 0 for 2. Popped him up. Behind the plate, Pierzynski. And that'll end the inning. The Tigers, however, send 9 men to the plate in the inning. 2 hits in the frame. Brandon Inge singles in 2. Alex Avila doubles in 2. Care. Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D in theaters Friday. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, a big inning for the Tigers has put them ahead now 4-1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Andrew Jones will lead it off against Jeremy Bonderman. And he throws one over the head of Jones all the way to the backstop. And Andrew now has a stare out there. Ozzy's like, what's going on here? You guys hit Manny twice yesterday. Ian walks back and checks out the lineup card. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. That last pitch had Ozzy pacing.
He's still pacing. He's hot.
Breaking ball away, 2-1. Andrew Jones struck out back in the 3rd. Wave and a miss. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. White Sox batters have been hit 70 times this year, which is the highest total in the American League. Two-two pitch is outside. Didn't go. Randazzo down at first, said that he held up. 3-2. Chop foul. Bonnerman gave up the home run to Vizquel in the fourth inning. So far, that's it. Jeremy career 6 and 11 against the White Sox. And again, the 3-2. He got him. Strike three. Jones is out of there. 6 strikeouts. 1 away. Well, my favorite things auction package number 2 features 3 baskets packed with the items from Johnny Damon, Max Scherzer, and yours truly, me. They include video games and movie DVDs, lots of retailer entertainment, restaurant gift cards, signed Tigers memorabilia, Michigan State Notre Dame football tickets, by the way, and some Oakland University basketball items. For a complete description of the baskets, go to tigers.com/wives. You can place a bid, make a donation. 313-471-2100 is the phone number. You must be at least 18 years old. And this current basket right now, highest bidder is $600. That's rolled to Will Rhymes, who will throw out Pierzynski.
I noticed in your basket you didn't put a whole lot of sweets in there at all.
No. Very few sweets, actually, now that I think about it. And that doesn't say anything about my personality because I gobble up sweets. But I'm just trying to be healthy for the folks, that's all. See, now we should have just loaded it with cotton candy.
We could have done that.
But we didn't. Been trying to keep the health factor up there. Ramirez chops one foul.
Oh, there's a healthy ball. Balanced ball. Yeah. Some hats. Autographed balls. Jack Links. Beef jerky.
There's a strike 0-2 on Ramirez. I noticed your eyes went right to the Jack Links. Not a bad choice. Those are good. 0-2 on Ramirez. Bondo has 6 strikeouts. He got Ramirez to ground out back in the third. Bouncer right back to the mound. Bonderman tried to kick it. Rhymes, nice play, and he throws him out. Look at Will Rhymes. He has made some really good plays. This is his latest. And Ryan Braeburn leads it off. Tigers scored all 4 in the 4th inning. And the first pitch comes up and into Rayburn, and now some warnings by Brian Gorman. You knew this was coming. It's just a matter of who it was going to be. As again, getting a little tired, I guess, of people in his mind throwing at his players. And Jim Leland knows what's going on.
Well, this is kind of what got Ozzie upset, was the pitch right over the head of Andrew Jones. And then you got John Danks that comes high and tight on Ryan Rayburn. And it looked like Rayburn might have expected that he would get his tower buzzed.
The 1-0 pitch is driven down the left field line. It is a fair ball. It'll go to the corner and rattle around. Rayburn on his way to second base. And he says, take that. A 2-base hit. The second hit of the game.
We told you Danks has that real good cut fastball, which means you got to clear the hips out of the way. You got to get those hands close to your body, which Ryan does both of, and whistles the ball down in the left field corner, and the ball was just inside the chalk line.
Barely. 19 doubles this year, a career high for Rayburn. Here's Bosch. No balls and 1 strike on Brennan. Shattered his bat, rolled it to second base. Skell throws him out. 1 away, but the runner advances. That AT&T trivia question again this evening. Give you some time to think about it. Which Tiger was the 1973 National Roberto Clemente Award winner? And it was Al Kaline. Mr. Tiger. On Roberto Clemente Day all around baseball today. And Mr. Kaline taking in the game tonight here at Comerica Park, as he does every night at home. So the infield coming in now in a 4-1 game. Tigers trying to get another run. Casper Wells 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Bob, when you have warnings like that, do you think it affects a pitcher's willingness or ability to pitch inside the rest of the game?
No, I don't think so. Not with these two guys. I mean, these guys are both known as bulldogs. I mean, we know what Bonderman does, and we have watched him for years, and Danks is cut from that same cloth. Now, they're not afraid, and they will not be afraid to go back inside.
See if this gets a run in. Konerko coming home, and he's safe. Everybody is safe. Wells gets an RBI.
And Ryan Rayburn was coming on contact. As soon as that ball went down, he was off and running. But Konerko came in, do or die play, and he was sliding past Pierzynski when Pierzynski was able to catch the baseball.
So the Tigers manufacture one there. They get a double, get the runner to third, and they got him in. Casper Wells' 10th RBI. And Bonderman now has a 5-1 lead. A base hit for Casper Wells.
But to really answer your question, I do think there are some pitchers in the major leagues that would be affected by the umpires issuing warnings to both sides. They'd be a little reluctant in going back inside in fear they might hit somebody and get kicked out of the game.
No balls and 2 strikes, although where were we? New York, where warnings were issued.
Yes.
And then we had a player hit, but nobody was thrown out.
Yeah, I forget who the home plate umpire was that night, but it wasn't his best night, probably. Because the warnings were issued the first batter of the game.
Right. And there was a whole bunch going on in that game.
Yeah, Bonderman hit Brett Gardner, leadoff hitter for the Yankees.
Driven to left field, base hit. Well, the Tigers are beating Danks around here. Wells going to third. He's in there. Big wide turn at first base. And he gets back in, a single for Peralta. Eight Tigers hits. Still only 1 out.
Well, we told you earlier that Danks is working on 3 days rest for only the second time in his career, and you can see that Don Cooper has some concerns because they're getting somebody up in their bullpen. Don Cooper is their pitching coach. Some right-handers are getting some pretty good swings today against Danks, and that's not usually the case. It's the left-handers that get better swings against John.
It has been impressive for the Tigers offensively tonight. Took them a little while to get going, but they finally did. We're trying to think of that home plate umpire. It was Eric Cooper that night in New York. Danks will get a visit on the mound now. They do have some action going in their bullpen.
And that's pretty much what this visit is all about. Krasinski just buying a little bit of time here just in case Danks can't get out of this inning.
(5-1) Detroit. 1 ball to no strikes on Brandon Inge. Two and 0. Two balls, 1 strike on Brandon. Let's get an update on the basket. Max Scherzer, Johnny Damon, and yours truly. $675 is the leading bid.
That's a lot of glue.
313-471-2100 if you'd like to place a bid. It's tipped into the glove. Again, these bids, the winning bids, will benefit the Detroit Tigers Foundation.
It must be those Michigan State Notre Dame tickets.
I'm sure it is. Tigers.com/wives on the internet. You can check out all the baskets and the listing of all the stuff that you can find at each one of the baskets. Two and 2 on Brandon. Tigers have out hit Chicago tonight 8-2. 83 pitches thrown by Danks. Swing and a miss, and he gets Inge. Out number 2. Third strikeout tonight for Danks. Bring up Don Kelly. Kelly had an infield hit back in the 3rd. Oh, and 1. We're talking about the ability for Kelly to play so many different positions. I think Leland obviously feels most comfortable with him in the outfield, but he's played some decent third base. There's a high fly ball to left. He should get him out of the inning. Pierre is under it, and that is that. So the Tigers add 1 more. They strand 2, and we go to the 6th. trying to make it 2 straight wins over Chicago. They have hit John Danks pretty good tonight to the tune of 5 runs on 8 hits. Bonderman has been the recipient of all the offense. And Jeremy's looked good tonight. He faces Juan Pierre here in the 6th inning. Pierre, then Vizquel, then Rios. And there's a strike called 1-1. 0 for 2 for Juan Pierre, and now 4 for his last 25. Breaking ball lifted in the air. Routine play in left for Rayburn. Well, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space in the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. See the final results post-game during Tigers Live. Here's Vizquel. Omar homered back in the 4th, and to this point the only Chicago run. Line drive to center. Jackson backs off and plays it on 1 hop. 1 out single. We go back to the studio now. Time for a game break. And here's Ryan Field. Thank you, Ryan. Here the Tigers lead 5-1. Sox have a man on, a man out. Alex Rios 0 for 2. Has not been able to figure Bonderman out. Jeremy has fanned him twice.
Does not look like the Boston Red Sox are going to get in the postseason this year. It looks like it's going to be the Rays and the Yankees. And they're both getting into the postseason. One will win the division. The other one will win the wild card in the American League. Too many injuries for Terry Francona's club to overcome this year.
Yet their team is 15 over 500.
Yeah.
Wrong division, though.
Tough division. Look at Toronto. They're quite a few over 2, and they're 14 back.
Popped up. This may stay in play. Kelly coming over. And he dropped it. In and out of his glove. Rios still alive.
Edwin Jackson could have helped him out a little bit there. Edwin was worried about getting hit in the head.
He'll be ruled in air. 1-2 on Rios. 2-2. Off the end of the bat, roll to Bonderman. He'll take the out at first base. Vizquel scampers to second. Two outs. Here's Paul Konerko. Konerko had a single in the 4th inning. Ball 1.
Konerko is one of those guys that can play under pressure. And back in 2005, he had a really good year for the White Sox when they won the World Series. He was a free agent after that season. He elected to stay with the White Sox. He is now a free agent again and having a superb season once again with 33 home runs and 98 driven in, hitting well over 300. Some guys can perform in these situations, and then some guys just kind of press.
Well, he certainly has been performing. In fact, up until Saturday, he had a 14-game hitting streak going that was snapped in Boston.
And there was a time this year with the White Sox hitters where Konerko and Rios were really the only two that were getting it done for Ozzie Guillen early. Some other guys have started to chip in and gotten hot second half of the year, but Konerko and Rios have been consistent all season long.
Ground ball slowly left side of the infield. Inge has plenty of time. Konerko is out. And so are the White Sox. No runs a hit. One left.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Camp. The Tigers have made a couple of really nice plays in this game. Brandon Inge comes in, do or die play, transfers to the fingertips, flips it across the diamond to get Alexi Ramirez by an eyelash, and then Will Rhymes. The last half inning, and it's Ramirez once again. He surrounds it, he throws off balance, 1 foot, gets enough on the throw, and gets out of the inning there for Jeremy Bonderman. How about these Tigers defensively? The way they're playing. Coors Light always brought to you by Coors Light Freeze Can.
Well, they are getting it done. Here's Alex Avila in the 6th inning. Avila, Jackson, and then Rhymes. Dank's still out there. He's thrown 87 pitches. The 0-1 to Avila. Make it 0-2 on Alex. Big 2-run double to left center field back in the 4th. Avila now with 25 RBIs. Swing and a miss, and Danks takes care of him on 3 pitches this time. 1 gone. Well, the auction packages continue to roll out. Here's package number 3, My Favorite Things, packed with items from Justin Verlander, Don Kelly, and our own John Keating. They include the use of Justin's personal luxury suite at a Tigers game this month, autographed game-used items, video games, DVDs, a personal gaming device, a Fox Sports Detroit fleece pullover, and, of course, John Keating's favorite, hairspray. There's a couple of hopper back up the middle. Nice play by Vizquel, and he's going to throw him out.
Did John really put some hairspray in there?
Yes, he did. Leave it to Keating. For a complete description of the baskets, go to tigers.com/wives. You can make a bid, make a donation. You can also call 313-471-2100. Must be at least 18 years of age. And the bidding will continue, by the way, until the first pitch of the 8th inning.
How about that play by the 43-year-old Omar Vizquel at second base?
Yee. He can still get it done. There's a strike call. Well, John Keating putting the hairspray, and there's a story behind that. A couple of years ago at U.S. Cellular Field, it was mascot day there, and the mascots were giving Keating fits. And they were messing up his hair, and they actually went into his bag and pulled out his hairspray. And so he has become famous for his hairspray.
How about that? They went into his personal belongings.
Absolutely. The mascots were. Let's roll to the right side. Here comes Vizquel the other way this time. Another fine play. And that's it. So the Tigers go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 7th. Rhymes could use some hairspray.
hair looks much like you. Beat it. Now, Scram, get out of here. Okay. We have things to do. Well, there's this popular theory that before you can win it all, you have this. They did that wire-to-wire thing last year. Tigers are trying to mirror that. Ryan Field now with more on the Tigers, going from chaser to chasee.
He took that really, really good, but you know he was chapped.
Oh, he was chapped, but he's such a pro. That all he could do was laugh, and that happened, I think it was 2 years ago at the Cell. You remember that? It was something else. It was mascot day there. They actually went into his bag and pulled out his hairspray. Funny, funny stuff. So that's why the basket for John Keating has hairspray in it. There's the complete story now. Manny Ramirez leading it off, rolls it to third base. Inge will scoop it up. And Manny is out. One gone in the seventh. That is my favorite piece of video of all time. Here comes Mark Teahan. Only 3 hits allowed tonight by Bonderman, and that's kind of been lost in this whole game. He is pitching tonight.
Lots of ground balls. He's got that really good two-seam fastball working today along with the slider. Of course, he throws very few changeups, if any. And the White Sox hitters have been out in front of everything, and the infielders have made really nice plays behind him.
Teahan is 0 for 2. Strikeout, ground out. Jeremy, as a matter of fact, has fanned 6 in this game. Strike called, 1-1 on Teahan. Teahan is now 0 for 10 in the series. He does have a walk. Rondo now has thrown 92 pitches. Here's the 2-1. Just missed with that breaking ball. 3-1.
There's the ground balls today. 10 of them. Just 3 flyouts, 6 strikeouts for Bonderman tonight against a hot-hitting team. Another ground out.
So that's 2 more here in the 7th inning via the ground. Bonderman continues to cruise along. Rick Knapp is on the telephone chatting with the bullpen as they start to stir a little bit.
He's telling the bullpen, you guys sit down. Bondo's got this.
Here's Andrew Jones. Jones had struck out twice in this game. Rolled foul, third base side. Tigers will start to stir a little bit. Even though Bonderman has not needed much help. Perry and Thomas.
Well, he's right around that 100 pitch mark. Jim does not allow him to go much beyond that.
The 1-1.
As a matter of fact, Jeremy's only had 5 starts this year where he has thrown over 100 pitches. So Jim has done a very nice job at limiting how many pitches Jeremy throws in any of his starts.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, he's had Andrew Jones twisted up tonight.
He has thrown that slider anywhere from 76 to 82 miles an hour today. Only stress he pitched in was the 4th.
I don't think he went, and he did not, said Tony Randazzo. Bonderman walked 5 in his last start. He has only 1 tonight. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to third, foul ball. The only run coming into the 4th inning on the home run by Vizquel, of all people. All the home run hitters they have in this lineup
Little Omar hit one out, his second of the year. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out for the third time tonight, and that is 7 for the game for Bonderman. He has looked good tonight. Is brought to you by your neighborhood Spartan store. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. National Coney Island, fast, fresh, and friendly since 1965. And by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. They are dancing to the aisles here at Comerica Park tonight.
Oh, they was getting after it.
The Tigers getting after it as well. 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Don't break a sweat, girl.
Outside Windows pitching change. Pena, the new pitcher. And he delivers a strike.
46 game now for Tony Pena. He comes in 4-2 with an earned run average over 5.5. He's got some nice stuff, but apparently the numbers are not to where Ozzie Guillen would like to see them.
Skill has been all over the place at second base tonight. One gone.
He is so smooth. I mean, he is silky smooth with that glove. Wherever they put him. Wherever they put him.
Short, third, second, doesn't matter.
I don't think I've ever seen him get a bad hop. And he pretty much, for me, has to go down as one of the best infielders I've ever seen at picking up a ground ball and efficiently getting the ball over across the diamond to get the out. Not blessed with the most athleticism, but just as sure-handed as there has ever been in this game. At least anybody I've ever seen.
Well, he's right up there, if not number one for me. The 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat, Pena comes off to make the play. And Bosch is out 2 away. Well, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, don't forget bidding for all of our baskets ends after the first pitch of the 8th inning. So if you were thinking of bidding, you might want to do it right now.
You know, there's always those professional bidders that just kind of wait till the last second.
Swooping in.
Yep.
313-471-2100 is the phone number to bid or make a donation.
If you ever go to like an outing and you're out and you just kind of watch people hovering around the table, then that last moment they just kind of get in there and just write their name on everything.
They're the pros. Leading bid right now is $3,000, and I'm sure it was the Keating hairspray that pushed him over the top.
You got that right.
But for, again, a great cause. Tigers Foundation. The Galarraga Avila Rod Allen package.
at 1550 right now. Popped him up. First base side. Konerko is under it. And a quick inning for Pena. Get to the phones. Make your last bids. Tigers baseball tonight brought to you by Bell Tire. Great win over the White Sox. They lead 5-1. Jeremy Bonderman back to the hill. He has thrown his 102nd pitch of the night, and it's ball one to A.J. Pierzynski.
Bonderman has just done a very nice job of staying out of the middle of the plate here. For the most part here tonight against the White Sox. The only one that comes to mind was the fastball 2-1 pitch that he gave to Vizquel that Vizquel hit out of the ballpark. But Bonderman probably would throw that same pitch again because Omar does not hit many home runs, but he got Bondo that time.
Pierzynski has put the ball on the ground to second base twice in this game. Heading back out of play. 1-2. Pierzynski trying to extend his hitting streak. It's at 14 straight.
He had a couple of hits last night against Verlander in a night where Verlander looked like he was nearly unhittable for most of the night.
Ground ball right side, right at Don Kelly.
Speaking of Verlander, we're going to talk about it last night a little bit. It was his curveball which allowed him to be so effective last night. He had probably his best curveball of the year. It's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. And the White Sox have some pretty good right-handed hitters, and right-handed pitchers usually don't bother them. But it's tonight Bondo with the slider that's given them some difficulty. So they've ran into a couple of right-handers the last couple of nights, the curveball and the slider, and it's pretty much shut them down.
There's another one, strike one to Ramirez. Alexi is 0 for 2, couple of ground balls as well. Fastball moves his feet. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jeremy can go one of two ways. He can go back inside with a good fastball, or he can simply go back down and away with that swing and miss slider he's had all day.
That's pulled foul.
And when you go back inside against a guy like Alexi, and you know he's a free swinger, he located that fastball where even if he hit it hard, and he did hit it hard, it's going to be tough for Alexi to keep fair because the location was so good. It was up and it was in.
It's breaking ball away, but Ramirez laid off that one. 2-2 on Alexi Ramirez. 1 gone here in the 8th. Tigers up by 4. Bonderman has surrendered only 3 hits this evening.
3-2. Juan Pierre waiting on deck. He's also hitless.
So far, a season high in pitches thrown by Bonderman. He threw 109 5 days ago against Kansas City.
Swing and a miss, and Ramirez is out of there.
8 strikeouts for Bonderman. That equals his season high.
Fans of Jose Valverde is credited with a save in this game. Text ZOOM to 37338.
You can enter to win a party in a Comerica Park suite. It is brought to you by Mazda.
7 in a row have gone down at the hands of Bonderman. Here is Juan Pierre.
Strike one.
One ball, one strike on Pierre. Ground out, line out, fly out. The 1-1 pitch. On the ground at first. Kelly with a nice scoop. And another 1-2-3 inning for Bonderman. He has retired 8 straight. One 5-1. Alex Avila a 2-run double in the 4th inning. Brandon Inge has 5 RBIs in the last 2 games of this series. And Bonderman, what more can you say? 8 innings, 1 earned run, and has struck out 8 in this contest. And the Tigers batting in the bottom of the 8th inning against Tony Pena, Peralta, Inge, and Kelly.
Jerry Bonderman also had 13 ground ball outs to go along with the 8 strikeouts and only 4 flyouts today. So he concentrated on keeping the ball down in the strike zone against a big, strong, physical team that hits lots of homers, and he was able to do it.
Dominant tonight. Peralta's been on base 3 times, single walk error. 8 Detroit hits in this game. Chicago 3 hits. Pena took over for Danks in the 7th and had an easy 1-2-3 frame. That one is lined to right field and caught by Andrew Jones. One gone. Well, it's time for the True Tigers stories presented by Farmers Insurance. On this day in 2008, Gary Sheffield hit 2 home runs in a 14-8 win against the Oakland A's at Comerica. Sheffield's second long ball was the 250,000th homer in Major League history. Visit farmers.com to hear real true stories from Farmers customers. Farmers Insurance, ready feels good. Inge cuts and misses.
Gary Sheffield was blessed with a lightning quick bat for about 20 years in the big leagues. And there were not too many right-handed hitters that have ever played the game that had a quicker swing than Gary Sheffield.
Well, say what you will about his offensive ability and capabilities. I never realized until he joined the Tigers how good of a baseball player he was in all aspects of the game, really.
Good point. That is a good point.
Great instincts. Taps slowly. Pena gets off the mound quickly and fires into the dirt, but a nice scoop by Konerko.
Speaking of instincts, Pena's made a couple of plays that have needed some really quick steps getting off that mound. He got Brennan Bosch last half inning on a comebacker, and this time he goes over, he gloves it, he sets his feet, he fires wildly in the dirt, but there's Paul Konerko. The first base position is probably the most underrated position in the infield. For that very reason alone right there. They can save you a boatload of errors.
Strike one on Don Kelly.
We get infatuated talking about the shortstops and the third baseman and second baseman and the dazzling plays that they make. But first baseman, underrated defensive position.
Kelly tonight is 1 for 3. Infield single back in the third. Wave and a miss and a big swing there by Kelly. 1-2 on Don. Pena has retired all 5 that he has faced out of the Chicago bullpen in this game. Thanks really had 2 rocky innings, a 4-run 4th and a 1-run 5th. But so far tonight, that's all the Tigers have needed. And the 1-2. Popped up. Who will take it? Tien apparently. And he will from third base. Another 1-2-3 inning. So we'll go to the 9th inning. Bill Pope will check in. My Favorite Things auction package is available only online at Tigers.com/wives. It's a basket of items from Tigers mascot Paws. Just a few things included are movie tickets, admissions to the Detroit Science Center, an on-field family photo at a 2011 Sunday Tigers home game, also Tigers Kids Club memberships, and a whole lot more. Bidding for the Paws package continues tonight until 10 p.m. Eastern, only online at Tigers.com/wives. So check it out online. You can bid on the Paws package only until 10 p.m. want to thank all those that got involved tonight and helped out the Tigers Foundation through our auction this evening as Phil Koch steps in now for Detroit.
Yeah, Phil has done outstanding work all season long for the Tigers out of that bullpen, coming on now for his 67th appearance with 7 wins. Real good fastball, anywhere from 90 to 95 with a nice breaking ball and an occasional changeup by Phil Koch.
So it's going to be Vizquel, Rios, and Konerko here in the 9th inning. Tigers up by 4. First pitch in there for a strike. Vizquel in this one has 2 hits, including the home run that provided their only run. It was off of Bonderman in the 4th inning. A solo shot, his 2nd of the year. That is popped up. Shallow right field. Grimes cruising back there. Make a nice play.
He's got a lot of range. He has got a lot of range. I mean, anytime you can go this far into the outfield, you can see Kelly was looking for help immediately because that's a difficult play. Casper Wells may have been able to catch that ball, but he knows the range of Rhymes because they both played together in Toledo this year.
Here's Alex Rios.
I finally was able to corner Jim today about Will Rhymes. And as you could imagine, he's intrigued by what he has done up here in September, and he likes him a lot. I mean, he likes Will Rhymes a lot, which means he's probably going to get every opportunity in 2011 in spring training to maybe take hold of that second base job, depending on whether they bring in somebody else or whatever. You never know what's going to happen, but he's got his man, and the manager's got his back.
Well, there's been no let up at all in Will's game, that's for certain. Rhymes, for as good as he has been offensively, is really starting to show what he can do on the defensive end, too.
The only concern that he really had was his size and how he would hold up over the course of a 162-game schedule. Was really the only concern.
There's a base hit to center field. Well, I will say this. I saw David Eckstein play every day for a year, and he had over 700 plate appearances one year.
Alex Rios holds his hands when he starts at his belt buckle, but he pulls them up ever so slightly to the point of where he can turn around a 93-mile-per-hour fastball up around his letters. That's just a God-given talent there. Real good hand speed.
Here's Konerko. That is just the 4th hit tonight for Chicago.
Would you compare the two players, Eckstein and Rhymes, or would you say that Rhymes has a little bit more athleticism than Eckstein has?
I wouldn't compare them. I mean, everybody likes to compare them. You know, they're roughly the same height, but I think they're different players. Maybe not very different, but you're right. I think Rhymes is more athletic. Probably has a better arm. But Eckstein could flat out hit, and he could position himself where he would make every play. He may not have had the strongest arm. There's a ground ball to third. Inge knocks it down, fires to second. One relay, double play.
He didn't panic.
And the Tigers win.
Nice play by Brandon. The ball's hit very hard off the bat of Konerko, but he knew who was running. He simply picks it up, and then he gives Will Rhymes a strike, and Rhymes comes across that bag before Rios is able to get him, and they get him by about 4 or 5 steps. Running is not part of Konerko's game.
And so the Tigers have made it 2 straight against the White Sox. A convincing win here tonight. 5-1 our final. Back with much more in a moment.